Why, hello there, my fellow fire clay hunters. Rodamont here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival. Episode 56, Becoming a Coal Miner. Alright, oddly enough, I think I'm just going to put my spare grain in here, knowing that it's going to be ground up at some point. It's poor organization, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's grab some fresh water. I don't have a lot of pie left, like food. So I think before I go, I'm going to make a pie. So I have more food for the road. So we'll do... I'd like a vegetable pie, maybe? But I don't have a ton of veggies. Just because my veggie satiety is not great. So the only veggies it's going to accept are not really the forageable ones, which is the issue. Because I don't really have those vegetables. So I guess another soybean pie. Yeah, oh well, whatever. And we'll use rice flour for that. And blood. A blood and tofu pie. You know, that just makes no sense at all. And I'm not going to make it look fancy. Oh, you know what I did realize is putting it down here, rather than like elevated, does kind of make it harder to check on. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh, holy hell, that's already done? Alright, let me get my tongs first. And also not burn my tofu pie. So if you manage to get the iron blooms out quickly, you can skip a lot of the heating phase in order to work the bloom. Because the blooms will come out of the bloomery hot. So they don't need to heat up as much to be able to be used. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to pull that out. Luckily, you can stick it back in. Come on. I think in the future it might make sense to have our clay oven be where our fire pit is or something. I don't know. Well, this was version 1.0. There's room for improvement, of course. All part of the plan. Alright. So, bloom number 1 is done. And... yeah, I should be able to do 2 more runs. But we can get another bloom of... oh, shoot. Tongs are equipped. So the other problem that we have is, I'm gonna have to not, grind. You know, I have to pick one or the other. Can't do both. Not with my current configuration. It's too bad I can't, like, just plop them down and have them stay hot. I'm gonna help the health hammer out here, because it's, it is not very windy right now. So the more I can chip away of the slag, the better. So that it retains its heat. So the process of working a bloom is that you cut away all the slag and then you adjust the voxels. Oh, it's too cold to work now. You adjust the voxels of the remaining bloom into ingot form. A high-speed Hellhammer will do that for you. But I just happen to have a low-speed Hellhammer right now. Well, let's get another run going. Okay. And the remaining bricks, I'll plop there. And I only have 9 charcoal left to my name, so going for the, going for the brown coal is definitely going to be helpful, I think. And for now, I'm going to store all of my grain and flour because I'm busy doing other things now. I'll just put that stuff away. Okay, so I got my iron and the iron bits it came with. And wind speed picked up a little bit, which is going to make this a lot easier. I kind of hear storm clouds on the horizon, which makes it even better. Alright, Hellhammer can handle the rest. And interesting. I dropped an iron bit. It like fell off of the anvil into the water on its own. That's great. How many more blooms? So you get 6 per run. So I've done 2 so far. This is the 3rd. So like 6 ingots per bloomery. And there goes my wind speed. Oh, it's fluctuating a lot. Alright, let's dig up the remainder of the charcoal, because I'll basically use almost all of it. So, the amount of, forging I can do is kind of bottlenecked on charcoal now. But if I find brown coal, that will help a lot. Come on now, just finish. One more hit. And you can see how doing this by hand would be very, very tedious. It would ruin your tools. Or wear out your tools, I should say. Not ruin them, because you're not doing it incorrectly. It would wear out your tools. It takes a lot of time. It's not exactly interesting to watch a streamer do this, unless it's really cathartic for you, like visual ASMR or something. I don't know. But, whatever the case may be, I'm happy to have a health hammer help. And there's obviously, a big benefit in, the health hammer and then iron tools themselves do have a lot more durability, they're stronger, they're, you know, they're better in basically every measurable way. Alright, there was not enough charcoal there. And then the heat of these, the temperature of these iron ingots will allow me to, like, start working with them as soon as this is done. And I'll just keep the other ingots that I haven't yet processed heating up on the forge so that they are workably hot. So the plan is to make my first set of iron tools probably a pick at the very least, so I can go for meteor iron, and then a hammer, because my current hammer is the last hammer I have, and I don't have a backup hammer. Yeah, there we go. And I got a lot of nuggets out of that too, which is great. Does the material used for the health hammer? I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. At this point, we got the iron ingot. So, let's make ourselves... Oh, also, I can get a better butchery table and butchery hooks. That occurred to me as well. That we get higher yields at some point. So first is a hammerhead. Do I have a lot of leather? I have basically none. So, no. Alright. We got our spare hammer. I'm going to hold on to this hammer and use up my bronze one first. Next, we'll do a pickaxe. And the pickaxe and the hammer are the only ones that I really absolutely need. So I might hold off on doing any of the others. I might not, like, use up the iron. Oops. Cleaved to something that shouldn't have been. But the Smithing Plus mod, like, making mistakes is so much not a problem, because you can just add another nugget. And delete the mistake. Alright. And with this, I am now going to be able to mine up tier 4 stuff. Which is a big change. And the rest of these, I'll just leave there to cool, because I have no immediate plan for them. Oh, hold on. Get the tongs, because I can't move the bits. Cool. Let's put the charcoal away. I know I'm completely out of, like, fuels, more or less, but, if we head to the brown coal, maybe it is not a problem. And these are still processing. Got it. So, I am going to go looking for fuel and fire clay. Just making sure I have all my food and water first. Yeah, you can store anything in a wooden chest. There's no, like, flammability in that way. The game doesn't care. So I got food, I got water, and I got my destination, which is down here. We're just gonna walk there. So, let's get moving. Current priority, look for coal and fire clay. If we don't end up finding fire clay, I can always make it. It's just lengthy, labor-intensive process. But I'm going to put the lantern in my offhand so that while I'm walking around, don't bite me. On my offhand, I can grab flint when I find it. Or my main hand, rather. Which will help with the worst case scenario of me needing to make fire clay from scratch. Or from blue clay or red clay. So we... Is there like a vertical... Is there like a death hole around here? Because this is... Oh, Jesus. I thought I jumped into it. Maybe it's like... Where I was mining just now, I think is like roughly underneath me here. I forgot exactly where I was on the map when I was digging around. It was somewhere around here. So there might be a vertical death shaft somewhere around here. But in the my self-interest, maybe we ought not to look for it at night. Can we vote on making a second anvil? Nope. So the good news is we know the bear around here was a sun bear. It's not going to come maul us or anything like that. And with any luck, we'll be able to find a decent amount of fire clay to be able to make more bloomery bricks. If we end up getting a lot more fire clay, we can also consider firing up quartz for more glass as a building material. Because I wouldn't mind having a lot more glass at my disposal. Especially if we end up finding lead or going after more lead or something. For more leaded windows. But even if we don't get leaded windows, we can always make like traditional quartz windows. That would work too. The only thing that I should be aware of while trying to travel is I think as we go a little bit further west, I need to then hook hard to the south to avoid like hills. Because I think there's a hilly section ahead. And I don't really want to be, I don't really want to have to mountaineer my way to the coal. It's like, this area sucks, so I'm going to go here and over. Takes a little bit longer, but it should be a lot easier. So the reason to look for the coal or the fuel is so that I can heat things up on the forge and not have to like cut down and process a whole bunch of trees. Essentially, like dug up coal is free. Well, I guess it's the durability of your pick and time, but still a lot cheaper than making charcoal from scratch. So it's just good to have it as a fuel source. And for the record, I will never be making iron or steel, sorry, in this run. It's not primitive and it's not going to be done ever. So I'm never working towards steel or beehive kilns. Well, maybe beehive kilns, but definitely not steel. All right, how far south am I now? Okay. I think we avoided the most annoying parts of the map. And lucky me, I stumbled into some berry bushes. Because my fruit satiety is by far the worst fulfilled. And that should help. Would peat be worth grabbing too? Sure, yeah, if I find any. Peat's not all that common in the tropics. So, I'm very unlikely to find a lot of it. But really any easy access fuel source is great. It's just for metalworking, unless you're making something out of like lead, you almost always need something with a higher burn temp than peat. Peat's good for pit kilns for clay making, and for cooking and pottery and low temp metals, but not high temp metals. In fact, you can't. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but bloomeries don't even allow for anything but some coal type. Oh, I heard bleeding. And bees. What are you? Well, I saw the back of you. You didn't look like a goat. Oh. Okay. You are a goat. You are a Shihori goat. Tropical climate goat. Low elevations. They don't like extreme levels of rain. Cool. Well, I mean, you know, that might be a future goal, to go tame some. Or trap some. For the purpose of milk. The last nutrition. So we're getting pretty close to where I had marked down that brown coal was found. And even in our, like, forest walk, I've managed to get, like, a half stack of flint. I hear more bees. Not that it matters now. In fact, one could make an argument of, like, I should just harvest all wild hives for its honey and beeswax. It's just, I'm sure my inventory is going to get full. We're getting coal. So, what is this, ebony? Yeah. There's coal somewhere down there. Oh, that's not creepy. But yeah, I remember. This was like a pit that we were climbing. Brown coal. And it's got to be a large amount of it, because there's more brown coal down here. So, let's get to it. I don't have any prospecting data around here, so before I really get started, I'd also like to pull out the pro pick and figure out if there's any hidden treasures around here. Oh, and I can see my stairwell that I got out of here when I was stuck. So there is obviously a lignite reading. Oh, halite! There might be salt here. That's my first halite reading that we've had so far. Trying to find halite is... Oh, wow, there's limestone here too. Okie dokie. I didn't have to go as far for limestone this time. Neat. So lime is a host rock for brown coal and black coal, anthracite, whereas like andesite is not. So we wouldn't have been able to find brown coal where we live. I don't think. Okay, there's lignite in medium amounts near me here. Actually, what is this andesite? Chromium. Yeah, andesite is not a host rock for brown coal. Which means the brown coal's probably either in shale or limestone. I'm not really sure which. But digging into the andesite, unless it's a really narrow band of andesite, is like not worth my time. Because it's not going to be in it. So the best way to like hone in on it is to dig in one direction and then do another chunk search to see if you're getting hotter or colder. Hotter. Okay. So we'll work our way over that way. It's probably under us. Truth be told. Probably this way. So I'm gonna guess the andesite layer is thin, and then it gives way to like shale or something. Maybe. Do another hot and cold here. Lignite, medium, quartz, large. So I hit quartz. Where is this brown coal? Is it in the hillside? Oh, okay, there we go. Was above us. And then with all this extra lime, I'll be able to never have to worry about lime washes again. Now, I don't yet see any indication that there's a clay layer, though. So this might just be about the coal and less about the clay. So this doesn't really help us with our fire clay issues. But fuel's fuel. I'll take it. So what we could try to do is to find roughly the center of this band of lignite. And then see if there's any fire clays beneath it. As that's how fire clays sometimes will generate. And I can be a lot less stingy with the fuels with all this brown coal now. It's really nice. It's like heating stuff up on the forge. I mean, this is just insanely helpful for like ironworking and other goals like that. Just because it's so much fuel. So, no to brown coal. Got it. TLDR, Sorcerer 7 looked it up, that fire clay forms under anthracite and black coal, not brown coal. Brown coal's the wrong stuff. Well, I don't know where any black coal is, so we're not going to get fire clay here. But, getting the fuel's fine. There was a chance for anthracite around here, and halite. So exploring the area a little bit more might be helpful. Because the prospecting data said that there's a chance for halite, emerald, alum. Oh, halite, but not black coal. Bismuth. And if I could find a salt dome, that'd be really cool. We could do... I haven't done a lot with salt, just because it's so hard to make through salt water. It takes a lot of time, and... I guess I could do a big batch of barrels if I wanted to, but I haven't bothered with that just yet. All the extra limestone's going to be useful for leather making, too. There's also a chance to do chromium leather, too. The rugged leather at some point, if we do find chromium. Alright, I'm going to do some chunk searches, see if I can't, because I know there's like a lot more lignite around. But I don't really care, like, we have a lot now, so I'd be mostly interested in trying to get salt if I could. Which we haven't had any hits on that yet. And it's, with its minuscule chance, I highly doubt there is salt nearby. Okay. I'm going to call this one done. We did end up with a stack and a half of coal, and we know that there's more down here. Let's work our way back home. Or, alternatively, find out where the closest meteoric is. Yes, let's go up to this meteoric. Oh god, this is a mess now. Because I did bring my iron pickaxe, so meteoric is something that we'd be able to exploit. For reference, bronze is not good enough to mine meteoric iron. Meteoric iron is strictly iron tier and above. The other thing I have not been doing, and I can start to do, is as we search the as we search around the map to look for terrain deviations that indicate the potential presence of meteoric. Meteoric will typically leave some telltale crater marks that if you know what you're looking for, you can suss out that they have a potential for meteoric iron. And meteoric iron, for those that don't know, is like, in this game, a purer form of iron. A stronger form of iron, so it sort of bridges the gap between iron and steel. So it's stronger and better than iron, but not as good as steel. It is very shiny, though. And it's kind of like a trophy metal, I guess, to a lot of players, because its rarity is high enough that having an entire suit of meteoric iron is often more difficult to source and maintain than an entire suit of steel. Because steel you can eventually mass produce, whereas like you can't make meteoric iron. You have to find it. So it's treasured in that way. Yep, lots of bamboo. And crabs. What's the difference for foxes? Sure, I'll show you. So, a Iron Fox has an attack power of 5, durability of 850, attack tier 4. Meteor has an attack power of 5.3, durability of 1100. So it does a little bit more damage, 5 to 5.3, and a significant amount more durability. That durability boost is quite a lot. So it's not so much better that you're like a big disadvantage not having it, but it gives you between a 5 to 10% boost over the regular iron stuff. One of the other advantages is it's easy to process. That it doesn't form blooms, so it's quicker to produce tools out of. Oddly, so that's another strange bonus, because iron in the game is like dirty. Yeah, it comes out as like pig iron or crude iron or something, and you have to work the ingot, you have to work the bloom and remove the slag, and you know, if you have a health hammer and it's windy, like that's not so hard. But if you don't have a health hammer and it's not so windy, that's pretty labor intensive. When you run a bloom of meteoric, it just comes out as an ingot because it's more pure. I think the thought is as it like re-entered the atmosphere from space, all of the carbon elements of it burnt off, so you're just left with a more pure form of iron. And it's little divots in the earth like this that can be crater marks for meteoric. So when you're looking for meteoric, what you could do is you can just dig a pit. I didn't mean to jump in here. You can dig a pit like 3-4 deep and see if you've hit meteoric iron or it's something similar. Oops. Not my pie. Dang it. I wanted to throw away my extra soil, but not my pie. And if you're regularly checking divots, you'll find it. It's actually remarkably common in Vintage Story. You know, if you're wondering about its scarcity, just install like the X-ray mod to be able to scan for blocks, and you'll see that like in a random 250 by 250 square meter area, you typically have like one meteoric iron hit. Like, that's how common it is. It's actually quite common. It's just you wouldn't necessarily know because it doesn't show up on the terrain all that, you know, every time. What stone is that? I can't even tell. Shale? Okay, yeah. Not meteoric. So sometimes the impact craters aren't submerged, and they're much easier to find because you just find them on the surface, and that's the meteoric iron that we know about so far. And then sometimes they're submerged, and it's a little harder to find the ore as a result. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.